Welcome back, OSLP family.
Welcome.
You are listening to Our Sleeve Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Mel.
And we have such a fun guest I always want to say in the studio, but over Zoom.
One day
we will have all these wonderful interviews in our actual studio. But
seriously,
over Zoom today, we are going to interview such an amazing lady.
That was so inspiring. When I started watching her journeys, I was like, oh my God, she's like killing it. And
Yes.
You can see it in her eyes that she wants it. Like,
yes.
That just like passion and attitude comes through those.
Hardcore.
Like, I feel her.
Yeah.
Feel it from here.
That's the motivation. When you can see it in their eyes or their photos, you're like, yes, let's do it. Let's get this done.
Yeah. So we're stoked that I reached out to her and she was down for this. And so without further ado, it's Amber bypassing.
Yes, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course, we are excited that you agreed to be on because I know not everybody can talk like we do. So not everybody wants to be as open as we are.
The open part, yeah.
Yes, about their journey. So we appreciate you coming on and talking about your journey.
No problem.
Usually our first question for you is, where did your journey start? Where did you notice that weight had become an issue? Was it when you were a kid, a little bit more high school? Where did your journey start?
Well, practically all my life, I've been overweight. My family is overweight. My mom, rest her soul, she was overweight. So I been like this, I guess, from birth.
Yeah. Okay.
But I truly started noticing then, of course, in elementary school, I used to get called a big girl or a fat girl. But high school years, because, that's when you start liking boys and you finding yourself and you notice like everyone will put you in that designated fat friend zone. Like typically you're funny, or they come to you for advice, or they need help with homework. So I was starting to notice, my high school years. And of course, I did not go to like a brick and mortar college. I did everything strictly online just because I was insecure about my weight. So my undergrad, my master's, and I'm working on my doctorate now. Everything has been strictly online. So I've never had that like face-to-face experience that people had, which I regret now, But I never had that chance. But my wake-up call was in 2015. I was 25 years old at the time, having a normal day, just sitting at home eating pizza, but it was an extra large pizza from Papa John's, not a large. And,
Papa John's gets you every time.
Yeah, their cheese bread.
That garlic butter sauce, do it all the time.
Yes.
But I noticed something was wrong. Like, I know the difference from being morbidly overweight and like, what's going on, Amber? Something is not right with your body. So with that being said, I waited like an hour after eating, and I just started feeling like a weird tingling feeling. Like when you can be sitting on the toilet or doing something, your feet go to sleep, and then it feels like pins and needles. Well, that's how the left side of my body was feeling. I've never, ever in my life felt that before. So that was alarming to me. So I ended up driving myself to one of our hospitals here in Atlanta called Atlanta Medical South. And as soon as I walked in, they was like, stroke. That's all I remember.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I ended up having a mini stroke, and that was due to me being morbidly obese and just the wear and tear on my body, and that was my wake up call. Like having a stroke at the age of 25 years old. At the age of 25, you're not supposed to be having a stroke. You're supposed to be living life and doing whatever you want to do. Finding out your career moves. But no, I was sitting in a hospital bed weighing 565 pounds. One bite away from death.
Wow.
Dang, girl. I feel for you. That's rough.
Wow. What happened after you had your stroke? Did you go straight into like, okay, I've got to do something about my weight, or was it kind of denial? What were you thinking after?
Believe it or not, I believe in angels. Right after I guess I woke up from being in the hospital and everything, I had this doctor that was really, at the time I would say mean, but when I look back, I needed that.
Okay.
She knew me on first name basis just because I was always going to the emergency room with things related to my weight. Either my heart hurts or I'm out of breath or I'm passing out at work or just little things that's weight loss. I mean, not weight loss, but weight related.
Right.
So when I
Yeah.
woke up, she didn't call me Miss Middlebrook. She was like, Amber, the next time you come through here, through the emergency room, and if I'm the doctor on the staff, I'm going to let you die. And I'm like, what?
Oh.
What you mean you're going to let me die? And she was just like, why should I sacrifice trying to save you when there's other people who truly want to live? Every time you come, your weight is going up. You were just here 2 weeks ago. You just gained 20 pounds. You don't take your life seriously. Why should I take your life serious? So her saying that to me, of course, when you're overweight, everyone always constantly tell you, you need to lose weight, you need to push back on food, you need to do this. I was in that mind zone. I didn't care. I didn't want to hear that. So she
Yeah.
was really pissing me off. Like, you're telling
That's a
me you're
harsh
going
thing to say though. Like give and
Yeah.
take. Like damn.
That
like,
is harsh.
Yeah, like you want me to die? You don't care. So she was just like, we need to figure out something about this weight. This may be
Yeah.
your last time here, seriously, because you just had a stroke. You're almost close to 600 pounds. Look at you. You can barely walk. You're constantly out of breath. You on all these type of medications. So, I'm listening to her. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm depressed. Like all of these things are running through my mind. But I felt that. Like I felt like she needed to tell me that.
Yeah.
But this is where I get in, and I tell everybody this story. This is where I believe in angels.
Okay.
So the whole entire time while I'm having this conversation with this lady, she walked out the room. 10 minutes later, a male doctor walked in. He was like, hi, Miss Middlebrooks, I'm your doctor. I'm like, no, I just spoke to a lady. He was like, what lady? I'm the doctor on the staff. He pointed to his name on the board because like in the hospital rooms, they have your name on the board and the reason why you're here, who's the doctor, who's your nurse. The whole entire time, I guess I was speaking to an angel. That lady never existed. People didn't know who I was talking about. I described her to the T. I'm like, she looks like this. She had her hair in pretty curls. They was like, no. I don't know who you're talking about. You just woke up from a stroke. You're hallucinating. I'm like, no, I just say I had a heart with this lady. Like she knew my name. She's seen me before. It was really weird. So after the doctor left out, there was a lady, I guess she worked with environmental services. She was in the room the entire time. She was cleaning up like the other part of the room. She came to me and said, you're not crazy. Not at all. Yes, I saw you have that conversation, but you was talking to yourself. But I figured that you probably seen an angel or a spirit, but you're not crazy. You're not crazy about one bit. And whatever you was talking to or what was going on, listen to them. So when I thought about that, I was like, maybe that was my mom coming into the doctor form because I lost my mom in 2013. So I was like, maybe that was her. She would have talked to me like that. Like, yeah. So that was like definitely like my wake up call. Like I felt like, okay, you're getting a second chance at life and you need to figure out what you're going to do and you need to do it quick because of course I was gaining weight quickly. I was depressed. I was still missing my mom. I had a lot of weight on my shoulders. I had to when I say become a mom, my mom, when she died, my brother was 16. So I had to get custody of him. So being a mom at the age of 22 to a 16-year-old, my brother, that's a lot on your plate. Plus I was in school, working on my bachelor. So it was just so much I was just going through that time. So I ended up going home. And it happened in November. So around that time, that's when the market is open for you to get insurance. And I signed up for healthcare.gov, or as everyone say, Obamacare.
Okay.
Up for Obamacare.
Good.
And I looked at all the plans and I ended up choosing the Humana plan and they cover the bariatric services. So, and that's when I jump started 2016, let's get this thing on the roll. I want to go ahead and go with weight loss surgery. I was doing my research before. I'm really happy about it and confident. And that's how we got started with, getting the bariatric service.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So you decided to get bariatric surgery. How did you tell your friends and family about that? Was it just very normal for you to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing? Or was it kind of like you had to prepare them a little bit?
No, well, if you know me, you know I'm very transparent on all my social media
Mhm.
platforms. So I've always been very open about my life and like my highs and my lows and things. So this was just something that everyone was super excited for. So like if you watch my documentary, I have a four-part documentary, you know, leading up to the day of surgery. I have over like 50 social media friends that like made videos for me, wishing me and rooting me on like for the surgery,
Oh,
people in my hometown, old teachers and things. So
Damn.
everyone was pretty much was on board with it. They was excited. You know, I went live the day of surgery while I was waiting in the room until, you know, they called me back to the operating room. And I had like 300 views on my Facebook. I didn't have an Instagram at the time. So everyone was super excited. They was happy for
Wow.
me. They knew like that is something I always wanted to do was lose the weight.
Yeah.
So, you know, everyone was they was rooting for me.
that's awesome.
That's
That
a
Thank
what
great.
a
you.
yeah, what a great feeling to know that you have so much support behind you and
Thank
that
you.
you are going into this surgery knowing that you're fully supported no matter what happens, you
Yeah,
know.
Yes. Thank
That's
you.
fantastic. I love that.
Thank
yeah,
you.
you had some fighters in the corner for you. They're just like,
Yeah, we
And
kill
actually
your
this.
prayed the
angel.
morning. Yes, we
And your
definitely
angel.
prayed. Yes,
Yes.
my mom for sure. Definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah, when you
Yes.
told that story, I got chills.
Goosebumps.
I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my gosh, like what a sign to be like,
I always
you
keep
have
her
to.
near me. I always keep a picture of her near me.
Oh, I love that.
Thank
That's
you.
so
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think, go ahead.
I was like, yeah, because I feel you on that. Because you said your mom passed 2013, right?
Yes.
And then my
Yes.
dad passed the 2012, and that's what
Wow.
kickstarted all my health stuff. So it sounds like with your mom, because you had to take on so much. Like, how much weight
Hmm.
do you think you may have gained between your mom passing versus?
200 something. When my mom died, I was like
Yeah,
in my threes. I can't give you the exact amount, but I know I
right.
was in my
Hmm.
threes.
Wow.
So by the time for surgery, I'm wearing a size 48 in women. When she was alive, I probably was like in 28, 30
Okay.
Wow.
women.
So you
Yeah, so I've
doubled.
So you
gained.
doubled. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. I didn't
And
want to
that
go anywhere.
grief, I mean, that's I feel
Yeah,
like food,
Yeah.
even to this day, is a comfort.
it
Fuck
And
yeah,
is.
it is.
you know, whether
It
you're
is.
going through grief or happy or
Hmm.
sadness, like you always know that food is going to be there and keep you safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
And until it doesn't,
Right.
you know.
exactly.
But even now, like I still find myself sometimes going like just drifting towards that
Hmm.
food. And I'm
Hmm.
like, you're not doing me any good. So why am
Right,
I still using you as a
Mm-hmm.
crutch?
Oh yeah, because
right.
this past weekend you were upset, and I was like, "You okay?" And you're like, "I just want a fucking slice of cake," and I'm
Yeah,
like,
I was like, I just want to go into my bedroom, eat some fucking cake, and go to sleep. Like that's what I want to do.
I was
And
like,
I
Right, right.
didn't. I didn't. I was good,
Good.
but I mean, yeah, I feel you on like
the eating
going
part.
towards food and using, like you said, extra large pizza, like
Hmm.
all to yourself. I remember doing that, like getting two meals from
Hmm.
like Carl's Jr.
Oh yeah.
or and eating all of it.
Let me tell you what I used to do because I was embarrassed. So my friends, I love them so much. I would call them and be like, "Hey, okay, I'm getting ready to order. I want you to play like you ordering something, but it's really for me." So when I
Um,
get there, I order my food and I be like, "Hey, girl, what you say you want?" They're not saying anything. And I'm like, "All right, so can I get this, this, this?" So they wouldn't like prejudge me, like, "Wow, look at
Yeah.
this big girl ordering all this food." But it was
yeah.
all for me. But I had friends that would enable me, to be there for me while I'm ordering all this food. So people would say, "Yeah, wow, that's a lot of food for her." So I
Yeah.
understand when it comes to
Oh
like
yeah.
ordering 2 or 3 meals, or like I go out to eat, I'll order a whole meal and then I would take a whole meal home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do
Yeah.
that
I know
all the
people that
time.
would do like the not the call, but they would order more drinks so it looked like there was more people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just during that whole time when my mother died, I coped with food. So I stopped going out. I had a successful hair extension company where I would sell hair weaves. I let that
Okay.
company go because I was just super depressed. I just stayed in the house
Mm,
and I just coped with food, food,
mm,
food. I didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the world we live in, I can just order everything I want for clothes, groceries.
yep.
My
Yep.
brother, I had my own, I can do my laundry at home. I can
Mm-hmm.
pay bills online.
Mm.
So I felt like I didn't really need to leave the house. And then when I
Mm.
did leave the house, it was just probably to the hospital or to the doctor to get a refill on medication. And then I'm back
Mm.
in the house. So from age, excuse me, I was 22 when my mom died. So it was 1 year before, I mean, 1 month before my birthday. So
Mm.
from age like 23, 24, I spent that inside. Like people used to try to get me out. I would
Mm.
make so many excuses. I just felt better being inside. And like you said, I coped
Yeah.
with food. Food was my best friend. When
Yeah.
I'm sad, I'm eating. When I'm happy, I'm eating. And
Mm.
then, I'm a gamer. So I had my game friends. I was like, I don't need the
Nice.
real world. I'm playing
Yeah.
Second Life on the computer. I'm on the Xbox with my friends. I didn't need the outside world. Not
Mm.
realizing that I'm killing myself slowly but surely,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Definitely.
and if you have a setup like that, like it's probably hard to see for a while of like what you're
Yeah.
really doing to yourself
Mhm.
because like
Mm-hmm.
with this, I mean, you were probably obviously ready to go for COVID. Like you know how to live and deal
Yeah.
with this bullshit.
Yeah.
But I have a 14-year-old and he loves to game. And because of the
Mhm.
COVID, like you just forget like you need to move. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know what
for
I mean?
sure.
And so I have to like remind him like you gotta get up, you gotta keep moving. Like video games, you can't just sit there. Like I know that's your life right now and your whole world's in that, but
Mhm.
we gotta keep you moving.
It's
Yeah.
It's
hard.
hard.
It's very, very hard. Speaking of medication, so what other health issues did you have before you had surgery?
Sure. High blood pressure.
Okay.
I always had low iron deficiency. Um, what else? I suffer with osteoarthritis. I still suffer with to this
Oh,
day, and
okay.
both of my
Yeah.
knees. It sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
um, any other medication? That was pretty much it. I just had oh, I'm sorry, PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome.
okay.
Yes.
That
Okay.
was crazy. My menstruals where I can be on 6 months or sometimes a whole entire year, and that also you know, poured over into my iron deficiencies because if I'm on
Mm.
my period for a whole year, I'm losing so much
So much
Mm.
blood. So it
blood.
was just,
Oh,
oh yeah, it was crazy where I can go a whole year without, having a menstrual. So those was my two top things, the high blood pressure and PCOS. And they had me on so many different medications trying to figure out how to control my menstrual and control my blood pressure. They didn't know what to do. And the only thing they kept saying was, you need to lose the weight. You need to lose the
Mm.
weight. You need to cut back. But I didn't want to hear that bullshit. I
Mhm.
was just like, whatever,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah, yeah, I'll lose weight. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then you go
Yeah.
home and you go right back into your same
Hmm.
cycle. Yep.
Or
and
no,
nothing
when I
sticks.
leave the hospital, I'm going to order a whole bunch of junk food so I can be good when I get home because I'm not coming back out.
Um,
So
Yep.
yeah,
oh, okay.
Yep.
All
yeah.
right. Did you know diabetes or anything like that?
No, I was pre-diabetic, but
Okay.
thank the Most High. No, I did not have any diabetes at
Okay.
all.
Awesome.
And then sleep apnea.
I definitely had sleep apnea. Now I
Okay.
did not know I had that until I was going for surgery, and you had to
Okay.
go take a sleep study test.
Yep.
Right.
But I used to suffer with headaches. Like I used to complain. I would wake up with a headache. Why am I waking up with a headache? When you have sleep, you're supposed to feel well rested. I will
Mm.
wake up with a headache. So once I did the sleep study, they was like, yeah, you have sleep apnea. So I had to sleep with a CPAP machine. And I
Mm.
think my number was like 10 on the machine. It was mild sleep apnea, but
Okay.
once I got on that machine, my sleeping was better. Like I woke up, felt well rested to the
Oh,
point where
good.
I was slobbing out the mouth like I not home this
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yes.
get that sleep and you're like, oh,
What is it
yeah.
Yes.
like to
Wake up
have
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened?
Yes.
what is
Yes.
it like to use a CPAP machine?
At first, I felt embarrassed. I was like, wow, I've gotten to this point where I have to use a machine to help me
Hmm.
sleep because I'm
Mm.
stop breathing in my sleep. I was embarrassed. The first week, it was very uncomfortable. So I had the one that looks like a COVID mask. You
Okay.
put it over your face because I couldn't deal with the one in your nose. I'm like, this keep falling out. And
Yeah.
I sleep on my stomach.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this not working out. So of
Yeah.
course I went back. They gave me the one over the mask. So the first week it was weird just having this foreign object over your face
Hmm.
Mhm.
and it's there, you can hear the noise. But by that second or third week, like I said, that was the best sleep I have had in like 2 years. I wasn't waking up with headaches. I
Wow.
felt a little energy and I just felt really good about it. So I had to wear the CPAP machine during the whole entire like surgery process, me
Okay.
getting the surgery, even the day of surgery. And probably like another month after I had weight loss surgery. And after that, my sleep doctor cleared me to not wear it anymore. And I still have it. It's still in the closet. I
Just
see it. I keep it as a reminder, like, don't ever go back there.
Yeah.
that's a good reminder. That's a really good reminder. Who was your surgeon?
Yeah, so my surgeon was Dr. Kevin McGill at Piedmont Atlanta Hospital.
Awesome.
Nice.
And you liked him?
Yes. I love him. I just saw him last month, and he called me his special patient. The reason he called me his special patient because he hadn't operated around that time on someone my size in a long time. And excuse me, I wouldn't everyone want to get to the sleeve. So it's really rare when you hear people want to get the bypass. So when I say, yes, I want to get the gastric bypass, he's like, well, cool. I wanted to recommend that to you. But if you wanted to get the sleeve, you know, I always try to make my patients happy if we can meet in the middle. So for me being, 500 plus pounds, getting the gastric bypass, he was more excited to do it than me getting the surgery. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he loved what he do. And I love him. Like he was like, you're like my mini celebrity. So many people call up here and say, hey, I saw AmberBypass page and I want to get the surgery. I see you in Atlanta or I want to fly down.
Yay.
So he was just like, yeah, every month someone's calling up here or they come here and they show me your Instagram. And he was just like, you're one of my biggest success stories. So I love him. And another thing I love about him, so you know that show Family by the Ton?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first season they was filming it, I was actually on the floor when they was filming it. So my doctor and Dr. Proctor was their best friends, and they used to operate in the same practice until he got his own office. So when they was filming that family, I got a chance to see it, and I thought it was cool because I've never seen how TV shows was filmed. So when I was going to walk, sip, I would go peek around the corner, and I'm like, wow, it's a whole production thing. Like they have the whole wing of a hospital closed off. But I was peeking, and I just thought it was so cool to see a live TV show being filmed and how they did
that
it.
is really cool. I like that. It probably gave you some motivation too. Be like, okay, people are doing it. I can do it.
Yes. And what made me bring that up? So they offer it to both Dr. Proctor and my surgeon, but my surgeon said no. He don't want to go in towards like the TV and the reality. He do it because he loved doing this and this is his passion. And for him to say that, I'm like, wow, that takes a lot because everyone want to be famous. Everyone want to be on TV. Everyone want the extra money. For him to say, no, I'm content and happy with just being who I am and practicing at Piedmont. I don't want that. I just want to stay here. That really made me feel good and that I chose him as a surgeon,
Yeah, that just shows a lot of your character. Doing stuff like that.
Definitely.
What made you choose bypass over sleeve? What was your deciding factors?
I actually didn't learn about the gastric sleeve until I started going to different like surgeons. So he was my third surgeon. So to give you guys a brief, I went to Peachtree Bariatrics in Atlanta. Started off in January. They lost my paperwork twice. So by them losing my paperwork twice, I had to start everything over. All the clearances. I go see the cardiologist, the sleep study, the psychiatrist. They lost it twice. So that really just put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like, if you're losing my paperwork twice, you wouldn't care about my life. Even though it wasn't the actual surgeon, it was his office. I was like, no, I need to find someone else.
Yeah.
So mind you, so mind you, that's from January to June. I only have 1 year on this insurance because the next year we was getting a new president and they changed the way with how the healthcare, the things that they cover. So I'm in a crunch. So we're like June 2016. I have to find another surgeon. I found another surgeon that was Dr. Shanita Johnson. She was amazing, but the reason I didn't go forward with her is because she had just came over to Morehouse Healthcare, and the insurance, something about when you switch over, it takes a couple of months for insurance to kick in and pay for things. So they was like, because she's new, it's a whole new process. She's still affiliated with a different hospital and a different practice. So we probably won't start accepting insurance for her until like late December. I'm like, by that time, no. So I jumped back on social media. I'm like, help. I need a surgeon that's in Atlanta that takes Humana insurance. Somebody please help me. Then I started seeing people like, well, go to Dr. McGill. Go look at Piedmont Hospital. They have a really good bariatric program. So that's how I chose Dr. McGill.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
like that. I
Yeah.
like that you
Yeah.
went through a journey all in itself to find
Yes.
him. So I feel like you were kind of, there was a reason why they lost your paperwork, right?
Yes.
Like
yes. I think
everything
about
has
that.
a reason, right? Like
Yes.
that, I really, really believe in that. Like there is a reason for everything.
Well, and her
Yes.
whole journey and story is all about these little things that keep making it to where she can have like better things happen. Like,
Exactly.
Yes.
I
so
like
cool.
that. So
Yes.
what was your pre-op diet look like? What did it look like for you?
I was just about to say that. So my pre-op diet was cool. I
Okay.
was on a low carb, high protein up until one day of surgery. So the day before surgery, he was like, clear liquids, just straight liquids. So when everyone say like, yeah, I was on a 2-week liquid diet, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't relate.
Yeah.
Me
I don't
neither.
know what to do. You know, mine, I was still able to eat food.
Let me tell you, it is not a walk in the park. Like
I
it
can
is
only
not. I
imagine.
did 2 weeks before and it was hard. Like the first 2
Yeah.
days, you're like, yeah, I got this. You know, I'm going to get surgery in 2 weeks. Like by the third day, you're like ready to
Right.
rip somebody's head off just
Mhm.
to chew something. Like,
Yes.
and you're drinking 4 shakes a day and you're just like, I'm tired of protein shakes.
And then
And
you
at
have
that
to do it
time,
after surgery too. So it's just like,
yeah, after surgery wasn't a big deal for me. Like
Right.
towards the 2-week mark, like I was ready to eat some real food, but it was the before the
Yeah.
pre-op diet that I was just like, I will, if you say the wrong thing to me, I will punch your lights out. I was so hangry. I wanted something.
Well, yeah, like because mine was only 24 hours too. So I was like, I felt so bad. I was just like, oh,
Oh,
like after I feel
yeah.
like it's fine because you're like, I just had surgery. Of course, you're not gonna be able to eat and do these
Mhm.
things. Like that's pretty normal for any surgery, really.
Well, and
So it's kind of funny that it's like that's why like we can all mentally handle it. Like doing 2 weeks prior with dealing with smells and like going places, I'd be like, ooh, that pizza smells good or that pasta smells good or
I did not
whatever.
go anywhere
because that
during
would
that 2
suck.
weeks.
So,
And my
Wow.
sister-in-law actually lived with us during my pre-op diet. And so
Oh,
it was my
wow.
sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and their 2 kids. So obviously they're cooking real meals because they've
You're
got kids.
smelling
I'm
it.
like,
Oh my God.
peace, I'm gonna go lay in my bed because I can't eat any of this.
Yeah,
And
there's
I'm
no
like,
point.
Yeah.
so I like didn't really leave my bedroom because I did not want to come in contact with any food because
Right. I understand.
yeah.
I
So
definitely
tell us
understand.
about day of surgery. How did that look like for you?
So day of surgery, emotional because
Yeah.
it's something that I've been wanting all my life to, just lose the weight and be healthy. So it was super emotional. Like I said, I filmed the entire thing. So from like January 2016 to end of December, my friend, shout out to Maddie, she was
Yeah.
over there filming me. So we're like emotional, we're praying. And, when I get in the car, I'm like, oh my God, this is the moment. Like I'm about to have the rebirth. That's why my documentary called The Rebirth for Lady Amber. I'm like, I'm about to be a whole new woman when I wake up on this table. I just can't wait. So we get there and I was shocked because I'm not really close to my family, but my family showed up to the hospital. So that was really
Oh,
different for me, for them to be
yeah.
there to support me. It was my aunts, and 1, 2, 4 of my cousins, my brother, his girlfriend at the time, my videographer Maddie, and they was just all crammed into the room, just waiting for me. And they stayed there the entire time. My surgery was like 4.5, 5 hours, but I was in
Whoa.
recovery for a long time because when I came out, my blood pressure was sky high for some apparent reason. My blood pressure was high, so I was in recovery for like 3 hours maybe because my blood pressure for some reason would not break, and it was just like, oh, we don't know what's going on. We got to get this blood pressure down. So yeah, my blood pressure was super high, they were saying, but my surgery went perfect. Like everything was fine.
Okay.
It was just my blood pressure was just high. So they had to get that down. My family, they was just like nervous because it's like, okay, she's been back there almost 8 hours to them. But of course, I was already out of surgery. I was just in the recovery room. So
Got it.
So
And I felt like it went well.
is it normal for the bypass to take that long?
I don't think so. I just think
Okay.
he was probably just really taking his time because, like I said, he hasn't operated on someone as large,
Oh,
and
okay.
he just wanted everything, to just go right. I think it usually takes maybe like 2 hours at top,
Okay.
2-3 hours. I'm not sure, but mine took a little longer. But I didn't have anything removed, so like I still have my gallbladder. I didn't have to get a hernia repair or
Oh, good.
anything.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, because I know those are things that they won't know until they get in there. And then a lot of the times, one of our followers, Katie, she ended up having to have a hernia fixed while she was
oh wow,
getting her sleeve done. So I know that's something that they look for when they go in there, especially with women, because I had a big belly too. So before I had surgery, and so I know that that's something sometimes
It's like
that
a sign, right?
yeah, the big belly,
The rounder.
yeah,
right.
yeah. So what was I going to ask? I totally had a question in my head, and now I lost it. So I know you have one, so go right ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, how did it feel like waking up? Like, were you in pain? Did you walk? Like, a lot of
Yes.
people have. It's different for everyone. So
It's funny you asked that. As soon as you asked, I just see me on my documentary. So when I woke up, I was just like, I need drugs and I need drugs back. I was like, please, I need the drugs. I am in pain. What is going on? Oh my God. And I was like, I'm in a lot of pain, but I did it. And I started crying. I'm so emotional. I'm a Taurus, so I'm always in my feelings. So I was just like, I was just like, I did it, but please, I need drugs now. They was like, we're gonna give it to you. We gotta get you in the room. I was like, you guys not pushing me quick enough. Like, I didn't it didn't hurt. The actual surgery did not hurt me. I had a Q pain pump, so it was a pain pump that like was inside of me. So it would pump the medicine like every 30 to 40 minutes, and then once it was done, you would have to pull it out. It was super scary to pull it out. So I had a pain pump.
I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do that.
So where is that at? In your stomach?
It was actually in one of my incisions. It was really weird how he did that. Yes, it was like a pain pump, and I wore it around my neck. I didn't have to press anything. It's just every 30 minutes, it was like this big ball, and every 30 minutes it would shoot the medicine, I guess, inside me. I can tell when it's like working because I feel like, ooh,
the floaty feeling.
Yeah, so I knew when it was working. So I really didn't have to take the medication he sent me home with, the hydrocodone, codone or something, because I had the pain pump. My most pain was gas. Oh my God.
That's what I hear.
Those gas strips did not work. The peppermint tea did not work. I was like, what's going on? I'm walking. I'm trying my best to move. I'm like, I'm not passing enough gas. That was my worst pain ever, was the gas pain.
I would completely agree. Now, I had the sleeve, but I had horrible gas pains. Yes. So it was like, as soon as I woke up, I was like, okay, can I walk yet? Can I walk yet? Yeah. And they're like, well, let us like get you laid in bed and like, we'll have you walk. And I was like, no, I need to walk now. Like I have gas pain. And I read that the more you walk, the more like the better it gets. So I'm like, let's walk. Like, let's do this. And so I was like doing laps around the hospital.
I pictured you being like, nah, bitch, I gotta walk.
Literally, I think the nurse thought I was a little crazy because I was like, no, I need to walk. And like, you're high on meds and you had surgery and you're telling these nurses that you're going to go walk. And they're like, you should probably sit down.
Yeah.
Like, let's just sit you down.
I always wanted to walk too because it was hurting. Like it felt like someone was just punching me in my stomach constantly. And I was like, did y'all put too much gas in me? I'm like, do I supposed to feel like this? Like, I've never felt pain like that ever in my life. I don't have any kids, so I don't know how pregnancy pains or anything feels. So I'm just like, I need drugs back.
So for the baby, there's no gas involved. So like, we don't feel that at all. Like, so that's the deal with when we talked to one of the doctors. I can't remember which doctor it said, but that they're like physically pumping you up full of gas until your stomach and everything is filled.
Emma.
Was it my doctor? Yeah, so that's why, because gas gets trapped after they sew you up, and then you have to move around to get it all out.
Yeah, you would think they have something to suck the gas out.
Right? That's what I said. Like one of the air pumps that they just stick in one of the incisions and they just pull it, and it's just like,
well, they have Remember, she said that it's someone's job to push you down, though. So
Yeah, like
by the
somebody's
way-
job is to like push you, like push your abdomen and get that gas out.
yeah,
But I mean,
Wow.
obviously, like there's you can't get all the gas out. Like,
Right,
but
right.
we were talking with Ethan,
Mhm.
and he said that if you take omeprazole, which is Prevacid,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
helps
Prilosec.
with the Prilosec.
Yeah. Okay.
Prevacid, it's all the same. It's that actually helps too, and some doctors will just automatically prescribe it to you.
Yep, my doctor
And-
did.
Okay,
Good.
so but yours didn't help, obviously, and I was
Yeah,
already
no.
on it, and mine didn't help.
How long did
So-
that last for you?
What, the pain?
The gas pain,
the
yeah.
gas pain.
Whew, I would say maybe, I feel like a week.
Okay.
I feel like a week. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
solid
believe a
pain.
week.
Mm-hmm.
Because before COVID, I work from home. I've been working from home since 2010. So I just took a whole month out of work because I was like,
Oh.
I've never had surgery. I don't know how this is going to be. And I do remember like my first week, it was just more gas payment. By the second week, I'm driving, running errands. I'm
Oh,
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it wasn't like, I feel like you had this, she had a little bit bigger of an incision.
Yeah, no gas pain, but I
Oh.
had like a pain right on where the incision, the bigger one is, for when they do the liver and everything.
Yeah, because they said
So-
that like they actually take the liver out and like
and it lays
move
on a
it.
thing.
Yeah. And then they go in
Wow.
and do, so it was completely different than mine, which mine was all laparoscopic. And
oh, yeah,
I don't know
mine
if
too.
yours was too.
Yes, mine was too.
Aw, fuck you guys.
Yeah, she was like in pain. Like when I told her I was walking laps, she was like,
Yeah, I was looking at her like, what are you
Yeah,
talking
she's
So
like,
yours
how did
wasn't
you even do that?
laparoscopic?
Mm-mm.
So like
Wow.
part of yours was.
Yeah, it's just the one part where she takes your stomach out because she's like, she moves the liver out first and then the
Mhm.
stomach's underneath it and she pulls that and then she does the
Yeah. So
Okay.
she has a longer incision on
Yeah.
the side
Gotcha.
from
Okay.
where, so she had more pain.
Well, and I could feel my organs move. It was freaking weird. So like I like to lay on my stomach
Wow.
too, and I couldn't lay on my stomach for months because like if I would move, I'd feel it shift, and I was like, oh shit, what?
Oh
This
my
so weird.
God.
And I
So
could feel
weird.
like it was sore inside. I was like, this is so odd, because like I called them and they're like, I was describing the feelings, and they're like, yeah, that's pretty normal,
Right.
and I was like, okay, all right, cool.
But you
Now,
also
what's
didn't
the-
have a lot to like compare it to. Like
no,
she
5
didn't
years
have
ago.
anybody like, like, because I'm almost 2 years out. She was
Oh,
5
wow.
years. So she she didn't have any friends that had surgery.
Yeah.
She wasn't a part of this giant community that we have
And
now. So
I'm pretty private,
Oh.
so I never really had I had a Facebook
Understand.
just randomly, and an Instagram randomly. So I wasn't very good at sharing my story or looking for other stories,
Mhm.
which now I'm like, you should have done
Mhm.
some research like with other people, because that would have been way more helpful to have someone to like randomly message about this
Wow.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why we started
Wow.
this podcast, is because I felt so alone and ashamed
Mhm.
of being big and
Mhm.
embarrassed. And so we're like, there's got to be other people out there like that. Like we got to help them because they don't know yet like how good it's going to be.
yeah.
Like you just got to make the decision and do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to help
That's
people
what
make
made
that
me-
decision.
That's why I started my Instagram and did my documentary, because when I was searching, like I couldn't relate to someone who was like 300 pounds or 200 pounds. I couldn't find anyone that was like 500, 600 pounds, only the people on TV. But of course, I had no way to contact them.
Right.
Exactly.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just do my own documentary and make my page, because I'm sure there's someone over 450 plus pounds that's out here searching for someone that you can message or relate to. And once I started doing that, like I started meeting other people similar to me in weight. And I was like, oh my God, there they go. They just needed somebody, So that's
yeah,
why I started
exactly. That's
doing what I was
amazing.
doing.
Where can our followers find that?
The documentary.
Yes, so it's on YouTube. It is called The Rebirth of Lady Amber, and that's Lady with an I, Ladi Amber. Or
Okay.
if you click like the link on my Instagram page, I have
Okay.
like all like my articles, and you can see my documentary there. It's 4 parts. Get your
Awesome.
tissue. You're gonna cry. Every single person that's watched it cry, even men. They're like, yeah, you had me tearing up, man. I didn't know you went through so much. You always have a big smile and you always pour into people. So to actually just hear about your journey and like the things you faced, that was like, wow, how do you even smile? So definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, we will definitely, and we'll point people on our page to go
Thank
watch it.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
we want to see that.
What was one of the
Yeah.
things on there that is the tearjerker for you still?
Um, Seeing me at my highest.
Okay. Yeah.
Like just saying, whoa, like I can't believe I allowed myself to get that big. I can't believe people is like my friends and they allow me to go out the house like that. Or, they always used to say, you're so pretty to be a big girl. You're so pretty to be a big girl. But I
Okay,
never
hated that.
actually had anyone say, hey, Amber, I love you so much and I want you to live a long time. How can I help you? Like, how can we get this weight off? Or, do you need a friend to go walking? Or I never had that. So
Yeah.
just looking at that and just seeing how far I came, every time I rewatch it, I'm just like, wow, that was me. I became a long way.
Yeah. How so post-op, like what are the things that you did to be successful?
Yes, so I was getting ready to tell you guys, my post-op was a little rough. So right after
Okay.
surgery, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in, I ended up getting a gastric stricture. So a gastric stricture is when like the narrowing is not allowing you to pass like your food or your fluids.
Oh.
So like I felt like I made the worst decision ever because I couldn't keep my fluids down. I was still on my liquid part. So
Yeah.
every time I would drink something, I'm throwing it up. It's not going down. And I'm calling and complaining. And of course, they're so used to patients complaining, the first 2 weeks. I'm like, please, Dr. McGill, something is wrong. By that third week, I'm like, I can't keep anything down. I can't take my vitamins. I can't drink water. I can't get my protein shakes. Something is wrong. So he ended up doing an emergency EGD, when they go down in your throat with a camera. And that's when he realized I had a gastric stricture. So they had to go in and kind of open me up just a little. And once he did that, everything started flowing. I was able to keep my fluids down, keep my medication down.
Yeah.
Everything was just like perfect. But for the first 3 weeks, I was regretting my decision. I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever done. I can't keep anything down. The only thing I'm doing is in the restroom with my head in the toilet because it hurts. It felt like something was stuck in my throat and it was closed and it just pushing it back up. Oh, those 3 weeks was horrible.
That sounds painful.
Yeah.
But I tell anybody I do it again and again and again and again and again because it was so worth it.
Knowing where you are now, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't want to scare anybody. It can happen to any type of bariatric surgery. You can develop a gastric stricture, but it's an easy fix. They can just go in and dilate it and open you up and you're good. You can get one now after being like, I'm almost 5 years post-op. So I can develop another stricture now, so anyone can get it. Don't think you're crazy because they may say, oh, you're fine. It's okay. You just had surgery. You should know your body. If you feel like something is stuck and constantly getting stuck, please go to the emergency room or go somewhere because it can be a stricture for sure.
Okay. What was your date of your surgery again?
Yes, December 14th, 2016.
Okay.
Dang, you got so close. So close.
Yes.
I know you're worried about the new year coming up. So.
Yes.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yes. It was like my Christmas gift to myself.
Right. I was just going to ask you, how was it going through Christmas and the new year? And like, was it hard with food?
Well, around that time, I didn't care for food because I was throwing up. I had the stricture, so I just wanted that to be fixed. So that was kind of okay for me.
Okay.
New Year's, that was a little tough because usually New Year's / Super Bowl fall right up under that. I'm like always ordering wings and we having food and things. So that was a little tough for me, but I made it through. And, like prior to that, Thanksgiving, I couldn't have my last Thanksgiving meal because I was on a low carb, high protein. So I was in there like, I fixed the plate and I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I miss you. I got my high off food.
smelling the stuffing. That was my
Yes.
favorite. Is I love stuffing, and I could just eat stuffing. Like
Yeah, I'm not a
on
fan.
Thanksgiving. And so my last or my first Thanksgiving after surgery, I was like, I couldn't have any stuffing.
Yeah, no.
Because
Yeah.
I was so like, I was very strict with myself. And I was just like, so I remember like standing over the bowl and I'm like,
No, I don't think you were strict with yourself. You followed the doctor.
well,
100%.
I did follow my doctor's plan, but I was
Mhm.
also very strict with myself. Like there was nothing that wasn't on plan. Like,
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
I did not veer from that path at all because
Right,
I was like,
right.
I'm not putting anything in my system that is not going to help me do
Right.
what I want to do.
Yeah, that's the whole point of
agree.
food now.
Yeah.
It's just nutrition
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Mhm.
But right after surgery, once everything was fine, it was great. Just seeing my body go through different changes and to see me beat my food addiction. I lost. How can I explain it? Certain foods that I used to love, I started hating, and certain food that I used to hate, I started loving. Like for
Yeah.
instance, I hated hummus. I hated collard greens. Right after surgery, I'm like, give me all the greens and hummus. And I'm like, wow. I never was a coffee fan after surgery. I ended up buying a Keurig and I have to have a cup of coffee every single day. So it's just weird, like how my body changed and my taste buds is changing. And I'm trying things I've never thought I would try before, like tofu and vegan food. I'm here for it. I didn't like Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt now. So it was just amazing, like just to see when you change your mind and you change your outlook on things, you may end up liking things you didn't like before.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
one of the things that does change because we do an
Yes.
episode random things that are normal, but
Mhm.
like that's one of them. It's like
Your taste buds can totally change right after surgery.
It's
Like
crazy.
it's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Like some of the things that I was like, nope. Like I didn't really like chicken thighs before surgery.
Oh,
Like
okay. Mhm.
didn't really care. I would just
No.
eat chicken breasts. Like that was what I ate. Now I can't get enough of chicken thighs. Like
Oh,
I
wow.
don't use chicken breast at all.
Yeah,
I
every
only
time
cook
it's
with chicken thighs.
it's
Yeah.
funny.
Boneless, skinless chicken thighs in the crock pot.
Mm.
Perfect. It's awesome.
Wow.
Like I do a
Wow.
barbecue version, a teriyaki version, and I
Ooh.
usually make enough that you can eat it throughout the week.
Yeah, that's the
So-
best part too.
I
Yeah.
need that teriyaki recipe. I love teriyaki.
Oh, it's
Good.
good too. Like, yeah, I'll give it to you. I'm gonna be
Okay.
uploading it onto our YouTube page
Oh,
of how to make it.
perfect.
So yeah, and I'll
Good,
have the
good.
recipe on there. And it's easy. Like
Okay.
throw everything in the crock pot, 5 hours later, it's done. So
Oh, I love recipes like that.
Right?
yes,
Everything's
easy.
so much easier.
Well, and it's like days like today when we're recording, like I may
You
not
can
get
be
home until
cooking.
7 or 8 at night. And it's like, I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to have something. So it's nice to
Mhm.
have the crock pot because then I
Right.
know like there's no need to stop and get food because food is already done at home type of thing.
Yes.
Mhm. So
Right,
you don't
right.
tempt
I like
yourself.
that.
Exactly. Because it's very
Yes.
tempting when you're busy and you're like, I just need to
Mhm.
eat something and go home and go to sleep because I got to get up and do it all over again tomorrow. It's nice to, it's very tempting to be like, oh, I'll just stop and get a burger or, whatever. So, but those
It's
are the
crazy
old
you really
habits.
realize like they do not cater to people who eat healthy. Like the
No.
fast food, everything is just, even when you take, like if you get a burger and you take the bread and stuff off, it's still not really good for you. I'm like, wow,
No.
there's not enough healthy fast food chains,
Correct. Well, and the ones that are like Panera, I mean,
Yeah.
you're
That's
easily going to
hard
spend
work.
$20 just
20, 30, $40. Yes.
exactly. Like I
Yeah.
went and I bought it for my mom and myself and I got 3 items. She got half a sandwich and a cup of soup. And I got one of their flatbread pizzas because I'm like, well, that'll carry me over for
Right.
3 days because
Yeah.
they're huge. It was like $30. And I'm like, how is this like, I should be able to go and order a $5 salad. Like,
Seriously.
Right.
Well, if
Right.
anybody's listening, make a business model for us people
Yes.
so we can just go through the
Yes.
drive-through.
although Chick-fil-A, their grilled chicken nuggets,
She's addicted.
they're bomb.
Very. Yes.
And you can
They're
add
really
them to
good.
salads. So you get a
I was
side
just about to say
salad
that.
and you shake up the chicken with the sauce and then you pour it over the top of the salad.
Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
we're supposed to be
Yes.
getting one. So I'm like,
She's excited.
come on, Chick-fil-A.
What was
Really?
your
Yeah.
What was your first like solid food?
Oh wow, that's a great question. I can't remember. My first solid food.
Yeah.
Maybe I maybe maybe chicken. It had to be chicken something.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, can't remember what type of chicken, but I know for sure chicken.
Okay.
Because
All
at the
right.
time my brother was still living with me,
Mm.
so of course I'm the main cook. So he wasn't into healthy eating, but I knew, yes, probably was baked chicken or something because he would
Okay.
eat that.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Can't
how
remember
did,
now.
was your brother really supportive of your surgery and like really like helping you
Involved
along the
and stuff.
way as you went along your journey?
Yeah, even before surgery, it had gotten to the point where I couldn't really bend down and tie my shoes. So he used to tie my shoes in public. And you know how
Oh,
embarrassing that would probably
yeah.
make him feel like, dang, I gotta tie my sister's shoes in
Mm.
public or like help me fix my clothes or something. So he was super
Mhm.
supportive. I used to be like, Jared, I can't tie my shoes. And just sitting back thinking about it now, like I can tell he used to have frustration on his face, but he knew that he had to do it for me
Right.
type things.
Mhm.
So yeah, he was super supportive. Like even now when he see me, he just like, wow, you look like mom. The more smaller you get, the more you look like mom. Or I
Oh,
just can't believe, this is you. Or I wish mom was alive to see your success. So yeah, he was super supportive of me. Or like if I wanted, I say, for instance, if I go in the store and I'm looking at the candy and he'll like push me out the way, like, nope, we're not doing
Yep.
this.
Keep
You didn't
walking.
waste all your time getting this
oh,
surgery.
that's
And here's the
good.
candy.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just really want to touch on like
Go
the
ahead.
enabling behavior that you
Mhm.
got from your friends. Now, do you still talk with them? Do they enable you to this day?
No, I don't talk to those friends anymore.
Okay.
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
Just
no,
figured that was not where your friendships needed to lie.
no,
Okay.
I know
no,
we
no, no,
lost some too,
no.
so we
Yeah,
feel ya. We
yeah.
all. I think that's common, like just you get a
Yeah.
surgery and some of them just can't hang with you anymore.
Yeah,
Well, and I think
I
the
had a
enabling
bad,
behavior.
bad one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had a bad breakup with one of my good friends at the time. It was like 2 months after surgery, and I'm not gonna go into details of what made us lead there, but the fact she was just like, I hope you have all the extra skin in the world, and I hope you die from recovery, and you will always be a fat bitch, and you're
Wow.
gonna have all this extra skin. You will never be pretty. And I was just like, where does inner hate come from? Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking you're my best friend, and
Mm-hmm.
you're saying
Dang,
all these
girl.
nasty things about me. So like a
Yeah.
lot of people, I lost a couple of friendships, and I guess they were just afraid or maybe felt intimidated that like
Mhm.
now I
Yep.
see my worth. Like I'm not that yes
Mhm.
friend anymore because I was that yes friend where like they knew they can rely on me and they can count on me. I'm always there. And now I'm out here living my best life, enjoying life and being able to do things I couldn't do before. So I wasn't always available, but I'm still your friend. But I'm like, I'm out
Mm.
here enjoying life. I can go shopping. In 2018, me and my boyfriend and his son, we end up getting a Six Flags membership, and we was at Six Flags every single day. No bullshit. Like I can print
Yeah.
out and show you where
Oh.
we went to Six Flags every single day to the point where I'm so Six Flags out, like I'm good.
But because you could go and do
Yeah,
those
Those
things.
are
That's
fun things.
exciting. That is really
that was my
exciting.
first job. And when I was 15 years old, Six Flags was my first job. And I
Oh.
was the friend that held all the book bags and the purses because I couldn't
Oh.
get on the rides. So
Mm.
I was making up from age 15 up until I was 28 years old. So yes, every single day I'm at
Mm.
Six Flags because I couldn't do it. Like after work, we can get on the rides for free. We can eat all the food we want.
Mm.
I'm holding the bags. Okay, y'all have fun. Okay, give me your phone. I'll take a picture. Well, we had digital cameras around that time. So give me a
Yeah,
digital
yeah.
camera. I'll take your picture and things. So I was that friend. So I didn't really get to get on
Mm.
the rides. And the only ride I could get on was the train, boring, or like
Mm.
the carousel, like
Right.
kiddie rides. I
Mm.
couldn't
Yeah.
go experience Goliath or the Georgia Scorcher, things like that, man. So, like that whole year I'm going, we would be there from like the first thing when they open the gate. So the gate open at 8, we're there at 7 o'clock in the morning. So we can be one of the first ones there to be able to get on all the rides, and we're done by 12 o'clock. So by
Nice.
12:01, where the
Wow.
sun's coming out, people coming, we're already on road all the rides in the park.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I went
Yeah.
to Florida last November, and we went
Oh,
to
wow.
Disney World and Universal.
Mhm.
And that was what I enjoyed the most, was being able to go on the rides and like feel
Yes.
free.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, like I was like, I used to hate rides, and I don't know if that was just like me being like afraid of not fitting onto the
Right, the
rides
uncomfortability part.
or something like
Yeah,
that, or
yeah.
like not wanting the fear. But it's like,
Mhm.
I already beat, like I'm here still, so let's just say yes and let's just try it. Like,
Yeah, do more.
and I
It
ended up
feels so
loving it.
good.
Yeah,
Yes, it feels so good. Like I
yeah,
can remember the first time when I was able to get on the ride and to hear that click, click, let me know like I can fit. Then
yep,
I like, hey, you're too fat. And then I'm just crying. And then we're
Mhm.
going up and we drop down like, yeah, bucket, yeah. I'm
yeah.
screaming because I'm excited. I'm happy. It felt so good. I'm like,
Yay.
wow, I feel normal. Like
Yeah,
this is what it feels like. And I'm like, let's go do it again and again and
yep,
again and again.
yep.
Yes. I
My
The
favorite
fun.
ride in Universal was Hagrid's motorbike ride, and it went
Um,
so fast, and I was screaming the whole time. But it
I
was like
heard
as soon as
about
that ride,
that.
oh, it's fun. It's
I'm a
fun.
big Harry Potter fan. I love Harry
Oh,
Potter.
that's her
So
jam.
I have
really,
that,
oh my god,
and
that's
then
so
my
dope.
whole right here is a phoenix. Actually,
I'm
Ah,
gonna show her.
I'm wearing a jacket, so I
yes.
might as well. So it's based off of Fox.
Mhm.
But
Well, it's so funny because
Oh,
like
that's
I don't know much.
badass. I like it.
thanks. And then it's my date. My surgery date is
Isn't
right
it?
there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
So
dope.
I love Harry
Well,
Potter.
it's funny because like
Me
I've seen
too.
all of them, and so I'm like, I
Mhm.
know that's a phoenix. I don't know where it comes from. I know that's something hollows on your wrist, but I don't know.
Deathly
Yeah,
Hallows.
definitely
Deathly
hollows.
Hallows. Yep.
Oh man, sometimes she talks and I'm
Wow.
just like, I need to teach you better, because I could watch Harry Potter all day, every
Me
day.
too. If I ever have a child, my baby shower would be Harry Potter. I want to name my daughter
Yes.
Hermione. And if I get married, I want to have a Harry Potter wedding. And the good thing my boyfriend loves Harry Potter. So if we
I
ever
was
get
gonna
married,
say.
I'm like, we're having a Harry Potter wedding. And if you don't like it, oh well, you just can't come.
You're like, I'll marry myself in my Harry Potter
Just
theme.
sign the
Yes.
license. I'll do the party part.
Yeah, I'll take
Yes.
care of the party. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm right there with you. Harry Potter, like that's my jam.
And
Like,
when I go on Facebook and I see those pictures where people have had weddings and baby showers, I'm like, oh my God, I want so bad. This is
right?
so cool.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
hopefully you'll get to do that. That'll be
Yes.
so cool.
Yes, we expect to see all the photos when that happens.
Of course. Of
Hell
course.
yeah.
Yes.
So like we have a lot more to go actually, I think.
Sure.
Because what the workout situation? Like how did you like start your movement and your routine?
Well, I started off walking because it was hard for me to walk when I first had
Mm.
surgery. Not first had surgery, but before surgery, because walking from where I'm at to my front door, I would be out of breath. My head would hurt. It feel like I'm dying and I'm wheezing.
Mm.
So right after surgery, once I was cleared to start doing movement, I started walking because I really couldn't do that. Like, so that felt good to be able to accomplish walking, like walking for 10 minutes, now going to 20 minutes, now
Mhm.
going to 30 minutes. So I did a lot of walking in the beginning. I will say this, I'm really sorry, something
Oh,
I'm
you're
really
good.
insecure about going to the gym still to this day because I have all this extra skin and I just feel like people would notice me or stare at me, even though people tell me like, hey Amber, don't worry about it, you came a long way. But that's just that I have body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
So I still see the 565-pound me when I look in the mirror. So
Mhm.
that bothers me, like having all this extra skin and I'm being in the gym and people like I feel like they're staring at me because I got all this extra skin just hanging out. So I haven't really went into somebody's gym, but I do like workouts at home. I watch YouTube. I may go on you guys' page or just somebody page and just try to imitate and do what you guys
Yeah.
doing. But
Yeah.
I want to remove that though. Like I want to remove that stigma of being insecure going into the gym. I want to accomplish that. And that's definitely on my bucket list for this year. I want to be able to get in there and be like, no one is caring about you. They're not staring at you.
They
They don't
don't.
care,
Yeah.
but every time I get the courage, I just freak out. And that's something I'm battling with myself day by day, though. Seriously.
Yeah, I would say to help you with that is like when you do go to the gym, just
Mhm.
join one of the classes first.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
everybody in there is so nice and they
Okay.
want to help you do well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
then once I did that, because I did that like 3 months after surgery, so I was still like heavy, like 280s, and they just
Okay.
could see like the effort, and they like everybody was just kind of comes in like a community. And then
Oh,
no one says shit
wow.
because really they're all scared. Even like this dude that
Really?
was like, yeah, even this big muscular guy that's like in there twice a day, he's just like, I have to be here. I have to be here. Like, I have to make sure I'm all these things. And
Wow.
like, so I just know that what I've come to learn from other people is that everybody's insecure about being at the
Mm-hmm.
gym. Everybody's worried that everybody's going to be looking at them. And really, they're in their own head, listening to their own music, trying to focus on their, regimen for that day. So it's
Yep.
like,
Right. Right.
they're really not caring. It's really
Okay.
ourselves that are caring.
Yeah.
So we have to like
Right.
get over ourselves.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I
It
mean, there's
is.
sometimes where I have body dysmorphia hit me smack in the face. I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, there's no way you can wear that out into public. People are going to
Yep.
stare at you, or they're going to
Me.
see like the fact that your legs are a little droopy, like the
Me.
skin, and nobody cares.
No
Me.
one.
Nobody cares. Like
Me.
I took, I don't know if you saw it, but we posted a picture Saturday,
Yes.
and it's like me basically
Mhm.
from the back, and it's my, like, I don't have any like top on. And so it's very like risque, but all I see is all the flaws. I see the stretch marks. I see like a little bit of
Right.
flub hanging over. And I showed Melanie and she was like, that's a really great
It was
picture.
beautiful.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to post it. And she's like, I was like, maybe I'll crop it here. And she's like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to crop your body out and you're not going to. And she made me post it. And it was great. It was very like,
You sound like
freeing.
me. That's me. Like when people take pictures of me, I find all the negative. I don't see the
Mhm.
beauty in it. So I can
Yep.
relate. That's so me.
Yes,
Yes.
I definitely see the negative. But I think that's kind of an epidemic within our society, is that you
Yeah. Yeah.
tend to go towards the negatives,
Mhm. Mhm.
not what, like, I see only stretch marks, but Melanie just sees the beauty in it.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Right.
you look great. And it's like, why can't I see it from your eyes?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Well,
Right.
and
Right.
they say that we are way negative and haters of ourselves
Oh, yeah.
than anything else.
We'll
So-
tell everybody
Right.
else how great they look, how beautiful they are. But then when it comes to yourself, you're very, very negative.
Mhm.
And
Very.
I want to stop
It's
that.
an-
I want to stop the negative
very
talk.
I do
toxic.
too. I do too. Because I feel like your mouth is the most powerful thing on your body. So if you keep saying it, you're gonna force yourself to believe like
Mhm.
Right.
something is wrong or you're not beautiful or you have this and
Mhm.
that. And that's constantly me. Like I can look in the mirror and be like, ew, I have this extra skin, or
Mhm.
like I'm breaking out in my face. I'm just like, I just see all the negative. And like if I
Mhm.
take pictures, I can take 50 pictures and only like one. Where
Right.
everyone
Yep.
else, girl, that's a bomb picture. No, you look good. I'm like,
Yep.
you see my belly, you see my skin there,
Yep.
you see my stretch marks. I'm like, nope, nope,
Mhm.
nope, nope, nope. So
Yep.
it's a work in progress.
They say that-
Definitely.
They say
Definitely.
it takes 5 positive comments to erase your 1 negative one.
Yeah. And if you think a
Mm.
negative thought about yourself and you catch yourself, you're supposed to say 3 positive things to yourself.
Yeah.
So if you say,
Wow.
oh, I don't like those stretch marks, and you're like, oh, wait, no,
Yeah.
I love this about myself. I love this about myself. Like you're supposed to stay positive, and then that
Right.
kind of eventually you start thinking positive, not negative.
Right.
I've
I
used
like
it a
that.
little
I'm gonna
bit.
use that.
It
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to use that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're welcome. Yeah, I try.
Well, that's all you can do.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, when
Yeah.
I catch myself in it, then I'll be like, okay, wait, no, let's reverse that thought a little bit.
yeah, like this whole journey is a learning process, and it's a mind fuck. Like you have to deal with like, did you have any
Yeah.
breakdowns? I had breakdowns. I'm just so angry of like letting myself get this big, and like can't believe I hadn't had the
Mhm.
surgery, and then like,
Mhm.
oh my god, I can't eat any of these foods anymore. Like it was just like, what do I do with this feeling? Because I want to eat and I can't eat. Like it's
Mm.
just a
Yes.
lot. It's a lot.
I'm
Yes.
guessing you
Yes.
had a lot of breakdowns during your journey.
I definitely had a lot of breakdowns during my journey. Just before surgery, like I said, I was dealing with a lot, losing my mother, becoming a quote unquote mom by
Mhm.
gaining custody of my brother. And then I was probably like, let me see, 2013. I was like a sophomore in college. So like the workload and just trying to find myself, trying to run a successful business at the time. And then
Mhm.
after surgery, I still had some breakdowns because I was comparing myself to others, which I think I see a lot of people in our
Yep.
community when they're like fresh out of surgery. They're like, well, I'm not
Mhm.
losing a lot of weight. I'm not doing this. We all get into the moment of comparing yourself to others who have had the surgery around the same time you did.
Mhm.
Um, just I had a bad relationship with food. So just breaking that addiction with food, like where I would get depressed or I feel a certain way, I can't go run back to food. I can't go get chocolate, go get a tub of ice cream or get pizza. So that was hard.
Yeah.
So I had to fight myself to make sure like I didn't pick up any other addictions. Like I don't drink or anything, but
Mhm.
at that moment I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll go get a bottle of wine and just drink wine. So it's
Mhm.
hard, like
Yeah.
you're so accustomed to doing something for so long to where now you're just like, okay, I can't do this. I have to put this energy into something else.
Mhm.
So yes, even now, like I don't know you guys seen, like right now I'm battling depression. Like I said, I'm in
Okay.
school working on my doctorate. So that's a lot on me. I'm
Yeah.
not a perfectionist, but when it comes to my school, I don't play the games. Like I take everything serious. I'm paying out of pocket for these
Yep.
classes.
Mhm. Yep.
So it's just like it's very overwhelming. And I just feel like my professor is just like really just picking me out. I don't want to say too
Mhm.
much, but I just feel like I'm ready to just get a whole new professor at this point.
Gotcha. You're
And
not gelling.
then um right now I don't have a job at the moment. So I lost my job. So dealing with
Mhm.
that, like being in a company for so long and then you just up and lose your job. So I'm dealing with
Mhm.
that. And not being able to find a job as quick as I needed.
Mhm.
So just dealing with that. Like I said, I deal with body dysmorphia. And then, I had a miscarriage in November. So
Oh
all of
God.
these things are just playing on me. So I'm just like, I'm getting out of that dark place, but it's kind of hard because I'm like, I was eating things I didn't supposed to eat. I'll be honest,
Mhm.
I'm very transparent, but I'm like, no, 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 Amber, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you trying
Mhm.
to eat a piece of candy, or you're going to get like 2 fudge bars, or you doing this and that? So I just
Mhm.
noticed like recently, like I'm going slowly back into my old ways. So what I did, I just ended up throwing everything out of my pantry, everything out of my refrigerator, and just like I can't do that. So I have to put these feelings and this energy somewhere else. So lately I've been looking at like free online yoga classes. I want to try
Yeah.
yoga.
Mm,
I've never done it before.
yeah.
Mhm.
I am a member of yep.com. So I'm an elite member. So I review different restaurants and things like that. And
Oh,
by being
Cool.
an elite member of Yep, they actually have like yoga week for us next week. So I signed up for all the Zoom
Nice.
yoga classes. So I'm going to try that out. I went and bought my mats. It's laying right here. So I'm a little
yeah.
excited about that.
Good.
That's awesome. That's so positive.
We love the yoga. I think
Yes.
you'll enjoy it. It'll be
I've
very
Yes.
never done that
calming.
before. I can't
I
wait.
never wanted to do yoga.
No, she
Yoga.
did.
I was like, no, it's slow. I don't want to do it. Like this is the worst thing ever. And we did one session and I was hooked.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
because it just stretches
Wow.
you out and it gives you time to like just be
I
present
can't
within
wait.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to love
Yeah.
it. A great online yoga that's free is Yoga with
Mhm.
Cassandra.
That's our favorite.
She's
Yoga with
so good.
Cassandra. Okay.
Yes.
I'm writing
Cassandra
And
it
with a K.
down.
yeah, Cassandra with
With
a
a
K.
K.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
She
she's
on YouTube?
YouTube.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
And she
Thank
has
you.
all levels. So she has like
Oh,
15-minute
wow.
beginner, 20-minute, 30-minute. And we started like just beginner level, like didn't know anything. And then
I was
Wow.
hitting immediate.
we were hitting intermediate. And then
Yeah.
obviously like,
Then we got in our funks and never.
yeah,
We got to get back in.
yeah.
Oh, wow. I just
But
found her. Just subscribe. Thank you.
good.
Yeah.
Yes. You'll love her.
Mhm.
She's very calming, like very, some of the things like you'll be just like, oh, okay. But it really does like, she's like, have your palms straight towards the air, like just thinking about
Wow.
what you're doing or like setting an intention for the day.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
I love.
Okay.
Like, she says pick a word, and usually, you know, you could
Mhm.
do like positivity or productive or something like that,
Right.
and then you just like
Right.
manifest that in your yoga session, which is nice.
Thank you.
So
I
yeah.
want to
Yeah.
learn to meditate as well too. So that's on my bucket
Yes,
list.
That
there
one's
you go. Yeah, meditation is
Mhm.
that
hard.
one's hard. That one's harder.
Really?
And it's just because like, yeah, I don't know about you, but like turning off the reel like is really
The
hard for
hamster
me.
wheel.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So with the
Yeah.
meditation helps you get to that point, but it's like I've not gotten to that point yet.
It's hard
It's really
Gotcha.
hard.
Yeah, because
So
I'll lay in bed and I'll be like,
Hmm.
especially right now with everything going on. And I'm sure you can relate with everything you have
Yes.
going on. Like, you
Yes.
just analyze every
little
second
things.
of every
Yes.
day, and
Hmm.
it just never stops. So
Hmm.
I think yoga would be great for you. I think
Thank
it would,
you.
yeah, I think it would
Can't
give you
wait.
some calming effects,
Yeah,
which I
we're
think
gonna
is
be
needed.
watching. We're gonna be watching your page, checking you
Yeah.
out.
I
Awesome.
want to see some yoga posts.
She's
Yay.
reading something. That's okay. Oh, I can't. Oh, is she talking to us?
I don't know.
Oh no, she's talking to someone else. I don't know. She told us to wait. That's what I got
Okay.
out of that.
All right.
Okay, I can hear you now. I don't know
Oh,
what
there we
Okay.
happened.
All
go.
right. We
Sorry.
were like, what happened? All right. Well, is there anything else you want to add?
Anything from your journey that we missed that you think people would like to know or can learn from?
um, just stay true to yourself and stay true to your journey. Definitely be open and transparent. Don't be nervous and scared because you never know who you're inspiring.
Mm,
It's amazing how like I can just share something. Like the other day, I wrote about depression and the different signs because someone said to me, "You don't look depressed," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't know depression had a face."
It doesn't.
So when I posted about the different signs,
mhm,
I end up getting like 100 messages like, wow, I didn't realize like I was battling depression. This is me. You're describing me to the T. So just being open about it. Like, yes, you
mhm,
can keep certain things private. Like I can keep my relationship private. But when it comes to me, I'm
mhm,
very open and I didn't realize like I help out a lot of people. So,
mhm,
this community can be great. You can use it in a great way. I make sure
mhm.
I stay away from the negative. So definitely, reach out. We're all here. I feel like I wouldn't gotten this far without our community because I didn't know anyone who had weight loss surgery. So I
Yep.
was in the Facebook groups on Instagram reaching
Yep.
out and everyone that I came through was super, super nice. They was
Mhm,
willing to like drop what they were doing and help me out or give me
mhm,
recommendations, help me when I'm like me like on a stall or I want to try different vitamins or if I want recipes, I have an inbox full of recipes and things. So
Oh, cool.
definitely just,
awesome.
step out on faith and just be you. You never know who you're inspiring or who's looking up to you or who you're motivating. Even in my like personal life, so many peers reached out and they're like, I don't want weight loss surgery, but you inspired me to like
Mm,
look at life different or,
Yeah.
mhm,
put back the junk food and just want to live healthy and just take
mhm.
life serious. So it's amazing. I'm so happy and so humbled to be where I'm at. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say.
That's great. I love it.
We love
Thank
That's the
you.
best advice I think anybody can give you, is just be authentic and, just try your best every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely, definitely. Because
I
I
love
tell
it.
people all the time, like, it's not always about, how can I put it? You always see the good, but you
Mhm,
rarely see like the bad. So that's why I'm
Right.
like,
mhm,
hey, like I'm in a dark place right now. I can't give y'all
mhm,
like the happy post, the motivation Monday,
mhm,
the transformation Tuesday. No, I'm human at the end of the day.
mhm.
And this is some of the things we go through. Like I'm not happy 24/7. And
Yep.
by me just sharing that little part of my journey, I have
Mhm,
so many men and women like reaching out to me
mhm.
and we're like keeping each other motivated or we checking in like, hey, how's
Yeah.
today? Anything you could have done differently or is there anything I can do for you? So I love it. Just being
Perfect.
open and just letting people in and letting them know, like, this is me today, this is how I'm feeling, and I'm a work in progress, and we're just gonna keep on swimming and keep on moving.
Yes,
love it.
yes,
That's the
just keep
best.
swimming.
Because that's what we're all about, is
Yes.
being real and raw. And like, there is good to the weight loss surgery, but there's also bad things too. And it's not really like
Yeah.
bad because of the surgery. It's just we're human and no
Mhm.
one's freaking perfect.
Yeah.
And why are we
Yes.
always trying to be perfect? Like,
Yeah.
there's
Yes.
not one out there.
Yeah.
Like, even
No,
if you're
nobody's
the richest,
perfect.
you can be the most
Mhm.
wealthiest, richest person, but you can still have problems.
Yeah, you can
Like-
still have bad days and be
That's
in
why
a
I call
funk or
myself the bariatric homegirl. Like, I'm your homegirl. I'm gonna give it to you raw, straight, no chaser. I'm not your
Yep.
yes friend. Like, I'm gonna
Yep.
let you know, like, hey, I fucked up this day, but it's okay. You know, I'm taking accountable of this, and I'm gonna keep
Mhm.
moving. You know, like, it's not all like, hey guys, today's good. Hey, today's good. No, like,
Not
I have my
today.
highs and my lows.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, I posted one the other day. It was I found this song and it perfectly described how I was feeling since my
Okay.
husband left me. And
Good.
you know, it's very like it's a really raw song.
Yeah.
Like it really spoke to me. And so I was listening to it and I was like had all these emotions kind of boiling up in me. And so I ended up taking a video of it and putting the words on it and posting it to our
Oh wow.
Instagram.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, 1 month ago, my husband left me, and this is the feelings that I'm dealing with since he left. And I had so much response from it of like, you can do this, you're amazing. Like, you know, and it was just like the love, the outpouring of
Right.
showing something. And so many people said, like, I really admire you for putting that out there because not everybody
Yes.
can do that. And
Yes.
I was just like, I felt so validated, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you felt it too when you said, you know,
Yeah.
when you posted about your depression, like validated that, yes, I'm feeling like this and it's okay for me to feel like this.
Yeah.
And I have so much support behind me that I can make it through this too. Kind of, you know, that's how I was like, it was just, it's amazing.
Well,
It
the
is.
community is just so like thoughtful and caring.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never expected that. I
Mhm.
thought it was all going to be
Same
like the
here.
haters and glamour people, and it's not.
Yeah.
And
It's
I mean,
really not.
there's some glamour people, there's some haters, but it's not the amount that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
overwhelming
right.
of love more than hate, which
Yes.
Right.
is amazing. So
Same here.
Awesome.
well,
Well, thank you so much for being on. We
You're
enjoyed
welcome.
hearing all about your story.
Thank
We
you
cannot
for
wait
having
for to hear what our followers and our listeners think because this is
Yes.
amazing.
this is a fun episode.
Yes.
I got to learn a
Thank
lot about you and inspire
Thank
more
you.
people.
Yes.
Thank you.
So-
And thank you for having this panel. This is so amazing.
Yes.
I love seeing different things like this for our community because, you know, so many people on the outside judge us or they think they know, or, you know, they say we're taking the easy way out. But then when they start hearing podcasts or interviews, they're like, wow, I didn't know you guys had to go through that, or that's a lot you have to deal with, you know. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me on this
Thank
platform and
you.
allowing me to share my journey with you ladies.
Of course. Yes. We are breaking the stigma one episode at a time. That is our
Yes.
goal. Yes.
Main goal here.
Yes. Thank you so much, Amber. We really
You're
appreciate you being
welcome.
on, and we will talk
Thank
soon.
you.
Yes.
All right. Have a beautiful
Okay.
day.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, perfect.
All right. Well, that was Amber.
That was
Amber
amazing.
bypassing.
Yeah.
She is so incredibly inspiring. I feel like she was a little bit of both of us.
Seriously.
Like when she first started talking, I was like, oh, she's totally a Melanie.
Yep.
And then
then
she talked more and I was like, oh, well, maybe she has more of me. Like she's perfect, like balance of both of us.
I think so too. I think you message together and then there's Amber.
There's Amber. So once again, Amber, if you're listening to this, thank you so much for being on. That was incredible. I am so inspired already.
Seriously, it makes me feel good to know that like, hey, it's not everybody's having an easy time.
No, it's not all rainbows and sunshine 24/7.
No, it's not. And it's okay to have depression. It's okay to feel your feelings.
Yeah.
Just one thing that everybody says is be transparent and communicate.
And take it one day at a time.
Yeah. Give yourself some grace. That's what this one always says.
Give yourself grace. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. You've been listening to our Sleeve Life podcast, and we will see you next time. Bye.